Hello. So we listen to sounds all the time, those who have ears. Um, we hear people, we also feel things, we also have experiences arising from past-based memories, from what people have spoken with us, what we have spoken, from the set of words we have, from what and the words we have is also based on what we have learned. We've gone to school, different kinds of people, different contexts. So that's where the words come from. And we also, when we are quiet, there are thoughts, words. When we are speaking, what we can listen to, when we are silent, what we hear as thoughts, so to speak. Now, people talk in terms of frequency, energy, vibration. But if we consider that there are fixed ways of fixed frequency energy vibrations. And what that means is we have our Wi-Fi set at a particular frequency energy vibration. That keeps emitting waves at a particular rate. We have, for example, electronic gadgets around. Some people may have set their, say their clocks, yeah, or they have set some certain meters around. There's an electricity gauge. Again, it may seem like gadgets, but we have um, a table, chair, light that is on here. I'm using a screen that is also being that at a particular frequency, energy, vibration. So it's like everything has a certain range at which a heartbeat, for example, it beats at a particular pace, which makes it our heartbeat versus somebody else's heartbeat. Yeah. Their lungs beat at a particular pace. My respiratory rate may not be yours. Similarly, a computer, uh, the lamp that is there here, the table, the chair, is functioning at a particular pace. Yeah. There are molecules in them that makes it a wooden chair versus a metallic chair. Yeah. And there are also frequency modulating devices, which is constantly pulsing at a particular pace, which then has us think certain things and within a certain bandwidth and not outside of it. There are also maybe people who are constantly chanting a certain mantra, yeah, reciting something, or they have somebody say play a cassette, a music player, and that's constantly playing at a particular pace, and that has an effect on a person. And so our ways of thinking could be within a range only. When we can pay attention to certain patterns regularly happening, for example, you can hear certain thoughts and then there's a certain repetition, and you cannot really think beyond it, or you're limited to a certain emotional range and you're not going beyond it. That's because your body is affected by what is constantly present in the environment. For example, in the room that I'm sitting right now, there is the wall and there is the electronic gadgets, for example, here. Now, if I'm going to step outside, there is the trees, there is the wind blowing on my skin that I can feel. If I'm going to be walking on the pathway, there are different influences on my body than just sitting here and the influences from this environment. And there are devices such as, well, Healy is one of the devices that I know about that constantly maintains a certain pace. So there could be people who are playing them in their own houses. Wi-Fi could be on. There is the 5G, there is the 3G to 2G. Accordingly, that is having a certain constant pulse, which then has your body function within that range alone. Your thinking processes can be within that range alone, unless you have other health maintenance practices, which is what I'm talking about here. Slowly. Awareness of patterns is an essential factor in knowing that you're functioning within a bandwidth. This bandwidth allows for such thoughts only. You have certain emotions, and within that bandwidth, that's all that's possible. You walk from, now, for example, if I'm going to move from here, say, to a temple or to a restaurant, which has a different set of environmental influences. The neighbors are different. The people who are sitting, the building next to where I would say, if I'm I'm in a restaurant, the building next door is different. The people, their thought lines are different. They've come from different backgrounds. Say, they may not be having a Wi-Fi on all the time. That would be different. But when you notice you are functioning from a certain bandwidth alone, say if you're going to say traveling from here to another station, there will be a different experience because the trees, for example, the food habits there would be different. What they speak would be different. But awareness of certain patterns constantly happening is an important factor in improving your experience of living. Because you could be depressed, or people around could be having depressive thoughts, or they are functioning from certain emotional bandwidth alone because they have not been reading a book, or they've not been watching a movie, or they have not been doing things that actually have them be happy. Instead, they may be just be in a routine day in, day out, nothing new happening. So in that sense, the range of variables, what can change, remains in that, say, in this room, in this location, what is possible is this much. Okay? Now, this is where Nirbij Yoga has a certain benefit. Your body is functioning at a rhythm that is not just from the environment. Your heart beats at a pace that is, say, one of the beats that's there, one of the pace that's there in the environment. No. When you're aware of your heartbeat, that is a rhythm that is unique to you. And within that range, within what is possible from that beat, like you're listening to music. If you're going to be listening to music, you'll say, listen to a romantic song. Yeah. Or you listen to an angry song. Yeah. Versus a sad song. The beat, the lyrics, the range, or what that music does to you is different. If it's say a romantic song, the pace at which it's being played is different, and what that does to your emotional state, how you think, what you then are experiencing would be different from, say, you're listening to a sad song. Your heartbeat has the rhythm of life that has you be you, but also it beats with a pace that is consistent with your life's being in existence. So even if you are, say, in a depressive environment, there are only certain thoughts that's constantly there. You travel somewhere, you come back here again, and you're in the same state of mind. Or your emotional bandwidth is just there's only certain things that you can feel. Or there are only certain activities that you're doing in this place versus anywhere else. What then becomes possible is for you to pay attention to your own body's rhythms. You have your heartbeat, you have your respiratory rhythm, but you also have several other rhythms. Your body, for example, your muscles, they are also alive and part of your body. You have your bones. alive and part of your body. You have blood vessels, you have different tissues, and we have many kinds of tissues. We have at least 12 organ systems, cells, tissues, organ systems. 12 organ systems, and unique to you. And the health of your body is maintained by that organ's beat. Your heart beats at a pace that is unique to you. Your muscles beat at a pace that's unique to your body's muscles. And all the muscles are not functioning similarly. The heart is also a muscle, but functions at a pace that's different from your hand muscles. And your muscles are made up of several fibers. They're also called circadian rhythms, cyclical patterns. Your stomach takes in food, and after some time, after the food is digested, again, there is a hunger. So when the food is being digested, the muscles are moving at a different pace. And then there is a certain, like the heart has a pacemaker, your stomach has a pacemaker. Different body parts have their own pacemakers, which is unique to you. And when you're healthy, it's like a clock. There are different wheels, there are different rhythms. They are functioning in a particular pace. They are synchronized. And when, say, there is a certain disease, or say you're influenced by something sad happening, or you're influenced by you're not feeling well enough, then different body parts function not as well enough. The rhythms may be down and sluggish. You may be tending to feel more sleepy, or the range of what you can think may be just reduced because those rhythms are not as actively available because they are affected from something in the environment, and you have not paid it. It's kind of like a watch, a clock that is functioning a little down. And when you recalibrate, then it functions optimally. So say your brain also has many clocks. Your hands have many clocks. Your different joints have different clocks because every cell beats at its own pace. Tissues beat at their own pace. Organs, a collection of cells is called tissue. Collection of tissues forms an organ. A collection of organs forms an organ system. Each of them have their own pace. And it takes a little practice to become aware of these different rhythms. And then you're more maintaining your body parts' clock rhythms. If you're feeling down and sleepy, you recalibrate. That clock is influenced by something in the environment and so not functioning well enough. And this is also how you restore your wellness versus just being influenced by what's happening around. And you be more yourself versus just being one amongst who's just there in the room. You could get so flat-lined in the sense you could be so thinking the same things as everybody else in the room. Say, you're in a meeting, and if everybody's thinking the same thing, then there are no decisions being made. There are no game-changing plans being made because everybody's just thinking the same thing. Because you're kind of plateaued into a certain way of we are this, yeah? A certain oneness in which your individuality is lost. And so nothing remarkable or cutting edge is happening through, yeah? Now, so I'll leave you with this thought here. Remarkable about this would be, or what you can take away, would be you're being aware of a certain bandwidth. You have certain thoughts only, say in this room. You can take the room that you are in right now as a marker and notice the kind of thoughts you have available in this room versus it could also be the range of emotions that you have in this room. Or simpler, what are the kind of activities you do in this room versus say you go outside, you talk to somebody else, And what you think, say outside, may be different from what you think in this space. Or what you then, what activities you do, what emotions you have, what's your state of well-being in this room versus anywhere else. That would also be kind of like a marker on for you to begin to be aware that every space have a certain range, and that range affects you. And it's not good or bad. It's just that you have not been able to be aware because you didn't know there was this to think. But sometimes people take a vacation from their work or from their home spaces. They go visit, say, family. That's also because there's a certain sameness. There is not a range other than that. And that can be changed. That can be made better. But important is for you to be aware that you're at the effect of things. And then slowly, maybe some colors in the room, or you could have calendar reminders. You can change your daily activities. Slowly, your experience continue to be different. The environment may be the same. Things may not be changing in the environment, but your life is not the same. And your state of well-being is not the same. You maintaining healthy over time has its own effect on the quality of your life. Or you are always at the effect of things and then say, oh, my life is like this. So the choice is yours. Yeah. So I'll leave you with this thought. Do leave a comment on what comes to your attention or what's your thought line. Writing it in the comment will help you and me keep track of where you are right now. So the next video, you would be able to then see what's changing. Is something different because you'll be able to scroll. But when you have a written record in the place where you're kind of reading it, or you could also make notes in your own book, in your journal, put a date, what are your thought lines? That would also help you keep a track. But in this learning experience, when I can also kind of gauge what's changed when you're writing, then it becomes possible for me to also track on what is changing and what I could bring to attention that you may have missed inadvertently, or you may not be able to see because of the stage of learning you're in right now. So thank you so much for your kind interest.